Welcome to the Erect Posture presentation. How to sit erect or plumbed with gravity. The Erect Posture is a postural exercise taught in 7 steps that results in a level pelvic base, spinal column plumbed with gravity, your eyes on the horizon, and a lifted crown. That's all. That's what the 7 steps give you. Okay. And the important thing here is that the plumb with gravity, there is the respect being given to gravity. If you don't know it, when you see elderly people and they're having difficulty, they started making those little short steps. You know, that short, I don't take a stride anymore step, right? A lot of that, if they're leaning, it's because they're top heavy. They're easy to fall because they're not plumb with gravity. If you're walking like that, you're bent. Whatever bending style you give yourself, gravity is trying to snatch you down. You're not as stable. You can't stumble on something and catch yourself up because you're too close to falling. But if you're standing up straight, you stumble, but there's a lot of force not already going forward. You've already pitched forward. You're in trouble. So that's what I'm trying to teach you, is that when you get into your 80s, I don't know about 90s, I haven't made it there, but I'm in my 80s. My whole goal is to be plumb with gravity. That's a goal set, right? That's the goal I'm trying to, because if you're not plumb with gravity, gravity is your enemy. Gravity is trying to beat you down. And you need to respect gravity and sit up in it. Gravity is the source of most lower back pain. Why? Look at old people. They're leaning out there like that, and their back is not sitting like that. If your back was straight up and down, if it was strong, you have no reason to hurt in the back. But if you look at how people sit, like, you're going to tell me you shocked that if this is how your back is supposed to be, and you're leaning like that, and all this weight is leaning forward on this disc, that disc, that disc. If all that weight is leaning on it, you shocked that if when you look up what the doctor say you have, the part of the material of the disc has squirted out in the back and catching your nerves. Can't you see your whole body is like, bam, every time you bounce in a car, every time you take that's bending, bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. Back pain. Come on up here. Erect that. Erect that. That's what I'm teaching you. This is lesson 2. I'm Aunt Gwen. I've made my goal in this whole process. It has been my goal. It is my goal to teach people how to get plumb with gravity. Give gravity some respect. Gravity needs respect. The rules. There's no gain in pain. If it hurts, see, I've been in classes where they say, if it hurts you, just breathe through it. Not in this one. I don't know if it was good then or not, but I know in this one, If it's hurting you, your body is talking to you. I do respect the body. When the body says it hurts, it hurts. You're injuring me, you injuring me. When it hurts here, it's saying you're injuring me. You're injuring me. No gain in pain. Next thing, level 3, which will be your abdomen. Level 3 are your core. Level 3 is the only place you can use real force. You can use force on your guts, on your lower abdomen. You can pull in hard. You don't have to, but you can. All other adjustments that you get, when you go through these 7 steps, you're hitting the sites of adjustment. All other those sites, it's soft as it takes to do the job. Make the contraction just as soft as you possibly can and still get the job done. Posture is just holding. Posture is you get to a place and you hold that place. That's posture. So you can't muscle into it. Muscling into it won't get it done. Get there and then figure out how soft can you hold that point. But be into the point and doing the thing that's described as precisely as possible. And then 4, you're in a situation where Most people who have an instructor has someone who can look at them and tell them what to do. I'm telling you what to do, but you've got to be your own observer. And in fact, watching people out there in the world and watching yourself are two ways of learning. You see how people are doing it and doing it wrong, because you're not going to find many examples of erect. But start looking for them too. Start looking for people who erect. But then start trying to use this to understand what's being done or what needs to be done. You should say to yourself, you see somebody in a certain position, you say, should tighten her stomach a little bit more. You know, you should see what's going on. I need you to learn it so much that you actually see what's going on. So your camera, put it over there and see yourself in side view whatever you do. If you're a person who washes dishes, watch yourself washing dishes. Watch yourself drive. See how you do that so that you can get aware of, you need to drive in erect posture. You need to sit in erect posture while you're driving. You need to sit in erect posture while you're working at your desk. You need to sit in erect posture. Now, that doesn't mean you can't relax. Get in your recliner and do it. But you need to have practice in sitting erect. Start putting in time. Make that a goal. Okay? Let's go. Here the 7 steps start. The first one is you must establish your base. The base is your chair. Okay? You got to choose your chair. The contact point, what this represents is the 2 feet and the 2 ischial tuberosities, and these are the points that contact the chair and the floor. And so you got to choose your chair. Level 1 says choose your chair, in other words. Level 1, the chair, 2 chairs that you can do. Height adjustment. Lift that chair so when you sit if you got a height adjusted chair, that's what I'm on right now. If you got a height adjusted chair, lift that chair up until when you sit on it, your entire knee is below that seat. And at that point, and sit near the edge safely but securely on the edge of the chair so that your thigh is running down here. There's my thigh. Here's going straight across. There's my thigh going down here. My thigh is going down here. So that's what I mean. Okay? I have a chair. Okay? You must get your 3 spinal curves, and you will flatten it if you live in there. If you sit in a chair, okay, I'm going to tell you what happened. If you sit in a chair where they say slide all the way back in the chair, put your feet on the floor 90 degrees at the knees, your feet flat on the floor, I agree with all that. But if you slide all the way back and then rest on this, and they tell you they got that design, they didn't give you lumbar curve, they just gave you lumbar support. You need to develop your own lumbar curve. You need to be walking around with a lumbar curve, because all you're going to do is get in trouble if you lean back here and expect that. I don't care if it vibrates, hydrate, I don't care what it does. If it massages you, I don't care. That is not the same as you holding yourself erect. You must learn how to put that lowest first curve in place. You gotta do it yourself. You gotta get those 3 curves, and that lower one is the first, and the chair defeats the first, if that chair is like that. So this angle is not gonna get to be 90 degrees. That's your problem. If you try and force it to be 90 degrees, you're gonna be in here, and it may look like I'm sitting now, that it may look like I'm 90 degrees to that chair, but I'm not. I've rounded my back, right? I need to have that 3rd curve. The first curve. So lift the chair. Now I said do this. No, you don't ever do that one. You don't. Here's what's going to happen. Your ankles are going to. Your feet should be flat on the floor, and they should be running parallel with your thighs. So if you widen the thigh and the foot should run at the same level. Don't twist it in, don't twist it out, and don't get on your heel, and don't get on your toe. I tried that one, and my feet start giving me trouble. I can never do that one, but it does do the slant. This chair, I could use it except for one thing. Look at my arm length. I couldn't adjust that armrest out of the way. I can't have a chair with armrests. I gotta have like a dining room chair. Okay, and I have to take the armrest off because of the length of the arms. I'm respecting my own body proportion. I have that long arm, long leg configuration. So my arms are almost having to bend to rest on my thigh. They come close to being, that comes close to the best rest is my thigh. Okay, so the idea is you sit on a chair, you don't go all the way back, but you put your feet, you widen your knees. If you widen your knees, you get the same thing as if you raise your seat. Okay? And if you don't, if you need to make adjustment to that, you'll find out at level 2. Here's sit in a chair. The problem with this, he can sit in that chair because look where his arms are. Mine would be down there on my thighs. So I'd have to get rid of that because that would trap me in there. Okay? But that's the reason for widening. I tried this for a very short while and I started having feet problems. I started having because that weight was going into some not flat feet. I mean, they weren't on the floor in the right place. So the next thing is you want to widen your knees. That's what was right, that's wrong. This is what you got to do. Widen the knees or lift the chair. That's establishing, getting the right chair. Now, to get the pelvis right, you got to level your pelvic bowl. The pelvis is a bowl. It contains the peritoneal sac. Peritoneal sac. Inside that sac, the large organs are the intestines and the liver and the stomach. They're in there. Okay? And so it's dressed in there, and if you go too far, and what level the bowl means is the pelvis is the seat that we took was the ischial tuberosity. Ischial tuberosity is rocker shape. So this is what we're going to try to find. We're going to find the part where we neither dumping nor slumping. Look at all these people and see most people sit like that. Even though this looks like she's sitting better than others, look at her back. She's still flattened that lumbar curve. Everybody flattens the lumbar curve if they don't get this right. So here we go. Here's how we get a level bowl. Put your arms relaxed on your thighs, okay? And now you're going to rock forward on your ischial tuberosity. You get on your chair, get securely on your chair. Rock forward on your ischial tuberosity, rock back. Rock forward. These are the rockers at the bottom of the pelvis. Rock forward till you feel it dump. When you feel it dump, your curve here is so great, it's kicking your gut out to the front. So this curve exaggerates, this dumps forward. Then you slump, you drop back here, and you want neither one. You want to get it in between the two. You can tell by this picture, everybody can get here. But here's the one we got to make sure we go to there because we got to eliminate that one. So if you cannot dump your gut, widen your legs more or lift your chair more because you got to get to a point where you can dump your gut. Now, once you can dump your gut, start moving back and you feel the slumping start. The slump starts when you can feel your ribs digging into your gut. That's slumping. That's dumping. So go to dump and come back. And once you start feeling slumping, go back to dump and find the position where you're neither dumping nor slumping. You've leveled your bowl. You've leveled your bowl. You still haven't got your lumbar lordosis, but you set it up so you can. Okay? Level 3 is where you get your lumbar lordosis because all the spinal curves, and you got to get all 3 of them, are right here. They are set in the spine. The reason for the curves is in the bones. The bones, these vertebrae right here, the bodies of the vertebrae, their shape is that of an S curve because of the shape. They're wider in the front, narrow in the back. Therefore, if you stack them, wider in the front, narrow in the back. If you stack them, they're going to go like that. Wider in the back, narrow in the front, they stack like that. These are not for the same reason, but the same mechanism is happening up in the circle. The S curves, the reason it's right is because it stacks the vertebra. So stack the vertebra. To stack them though, the muscles right here in this groove must contract. We've got to figure out how to get them to contract. The secret for getting them, and this is the one way you can do it hard, okay? The secret for getting the spine, the nerve, the muscles right in here to contract is to give them a job where the spine needs to be the origin. Give it a muscle to contract. That the only way for that muscle to do that job and that you described when it contracts is that the spine in that area must become the origin, which means it has to make the spine stiff, and then you can contract and pull it in. And this one is a one muscle thing. The transversalis is a muscle that goes, the abdominal muscle that goes all the way around the waist. It's effective. He's the one who makes the well. If I say make your waist as small as possible, and by contracting the muscle, the ones you're going to have to contract is this one. Make your waist as small as possible. Wow, he'll have to be the one. But now, he works in two areas. So I'm going to make that a little bit different. Make the lower waist below the navel. Pull in that as hard as you can. Pull in the muscle below the belly button. Pull in that muscle as hard as you can. And you will feel this area got tight. Because the job you just gave him was take that pouch right there and nail it to the back. For that to happen, this had to get tight so that this can, see, origin is the stiff part. Stiffen up so that that can happen. This stiffens, this moves. This gets tight so this can be moved in. Insertion gets drawn to the origin. Lift this part to the spine. Oh. And when you do, don't tell me you don't feel that tight. You tighten right down there. Pull in. Okay? Now, you can pull in the top as much as you want to, but the top is really for respiration. You can pull in, but while holding that, to breathe, you say, it's above. It's in this area. Above the navel is breathing. Below the navel is getting your lumbar lordosis. Get that third curve, that lowest curve. And you can do that hard. When I do that, I'm trying to give tone. That's my sit-up. If I'm going to do a sit-up, I'm going to do it like this. That's a sit-up. That's my sit-up. That's how you get tone to that. Plank, all those things, they're good, I guess. But this is most effective because it's really where the action takes place. Next thing. So that's level 3. Level 4 then is the shape of the rib cage. The difference in these and these is these have the rib cage you want and these don't. The rib cage has the wrong shape. That's the round back, collapsed chest. The rib's not in the right place. This is the flat back, lifted chest. Shoulders are in the back. You don't adjust this posture with your shoulders. The shoulder blade rides against the rib cage. Change the rib cage, change the shoulder position. So don't do this one by thinking you're going to muscle it back with the shoulder. This one is done like this. Okay, we got to find the chain. We got to find the chain that flattens this, that lifts the chest and give curve to the back. Here it is, 2 chains. Best described like this. This says widen, this says widen, and then feel the muscle that did the widening. So just think of widen, see where I say widen, and then feel where the effect happened. Where the effect happens is where the spine got tight. The spine became the origin in that area where you feel it get tight in the back. So let's start with this one. This is the green arrow right here. Okay? So watch what you do. Armpit to armpit, make it as wide as you can. Armpit to armpit, make it as wide as you can. Tell me you didn't feel your back tighten right here. Lower back even, I can even locate it. It's going to be below your shoulder blade down, around 6 to 12. T 6 to 12. Okay? After you do that, the next one is, and here's what it is. You widen there, and you feel it pull down there, and for it to pull down, those vertebrae right in there contracted. The next one says widen your lower ribs, and for some reason I have to put my finger here because it doesn't show otherwise. Put your finger here, widen, widen. Those ribs right there have to widen. Widen them. When you widen them, feel up in here tightens. The action is, if you widen your lower ribs, the action, these are the muscle, the spinal muscle that become the origin, and it participates by way of muscles in that area. So here we go. Widen, feel it up there. Widen and widen. Now do both of them. And feel that now, if you hold up and up in your stomach now, feel that your spine is active all the way down to the base. Lift in here, widen, widen. Your spine is stacking. It's getting starch in it. It's defying gravity. That's how you defy gravity. Give those muscles the job of holding the body straight. And these are the muscles that do it. Okay? Next one. That's level 4. Level 5 is the neck forward. In other words, I've gotten myself stiff now, but my head can still be forward. And so here's what I have to do now. Just lean the head back. And lean it back, because here's what it was wrong. The head was forward. The head was forward. The logo is, this is the muscular neck. Get the windpipe inside. When you see people wrong, they go slanting out there, and some of them are real thin, and you can see all their windpipe is out and exposed, hanging out here. Your goal, let me get everything right. Your goal now is, there's a hump here that needs to be straightened. There's the hump. Sometimes in that hump you can see these, I call them the hackles, fanned out. What you got to do is bring those down. The way to do that is just here to there. Here, there. See my neck went up? See my neck flattened in the front? You're in this position, right? That's straightened up now. Then drop the head. Just leaving the neck there. Drop the eyes on the horizon. There's my neck going straight up. It runs into softness here because I'm 82. But if you're young and you're still tight, you'll end up with a very clean angle right down. That's the prettiest thing I think I see in posture. I like to see a long neck and flat under that. Okay? That's eyes on the horizon. That's a reflex. After your head is back here, just stop there and let your eyes drop on the horizon. After you've done eyes on the horizon, the last thing is lift. Just feel like a flame and just pull yourself up, move, and breathe. Erect. Respecting gravity. Push up into gravity. Defy gravity. That's what I think of it. Gravity here, you better defy it, meaning go into it. Respect it. Get up in there. Make your body align with it. Finally, thank you for coming. As you start doing these, thank you for coming. Return, thank you if you are returning. Subscribe, thank you if you subscribed. Send other people, but when you send them, warn them, this is not, how quick can you decide you don't like it? Give me at least 10 minutes. Tell them, don't go there unless you got at least 10 minutes to start seeing if you find it interesting. Ring the bell. I'm going to be putting out various versions. I got to teach breathing next. I got to teach balance. I got to teach movement. You got to know I'm doing this, okay? And subscribe to it. Now tell me how to make it better. Tell me how well it's working for you. What worked for you? I really expect somebody to tell me that after they've been doing it for a while, they find out their backache is gone. Because your backache is you leaning out and not giving gravity its respect. One of the things I have found myself, I do this so much that I can't, if I do some real dumb things, that I guess I used to think of as normal, my body says, oh, no, you don't do that again. My body loves straight. Even though I don't sit straight all the time, I'm still working on it. You can see me working. That's the beauty of coming in with you. I got so many minutes, I gotta sit up straight because I'm demonstrating for you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for feedback. Come again.